So I was on a date one time, right, and this guy. So we're sitting at the table, and he's just like, I don't know if it was on something like cocaine or something. I have no idea. We went to dinner. He was eating, and he was just like, da 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 da, like, oh my god, like I want you to, you know, you're so pretty. Oh my god, can I hold your hand? Can I hold your hand? And like he was like touching my hands, and I was
so
like,
he's still asking like
no,
that?
he was touching.
He didn't even say yes or no.
My
He
hands.
just went for it.
He was just went for it, and he was like, "Can I hold your hands?" Like, I have to. You're so. Oh my god, you're so pretty. Oh my god. Wait, I wanna introduce you to my mom. He's like, you know, it's like, oh my god, we can.
Right on the first date?
Swear to God.
So question to you guys. A guy you're on a date with, you're vibing with so well, you know, you're having a great time. He's making you laugh, you're making him laugh. And he's asking you, do you mind being with someone who believes in gender roles? What would your response be to that, honestly?
So do you mean like a woman like not working at all?
Potentially. It could be a bunch of things.
Just like cleaning, cooking.
This
like,
is your interpretation. I want to know your response.
I mean,
he's keeping it vague just from that one question.
I'm okay
what would your
with
response
it
be?
Because, like, honestly, I mean, okay, hold on, back up. In this day and age, right, 2024, I think that women are educated. Women have the ability to be educated, to vote, to do anything they want, right? I believe in equals of men and women. Not talking about religion. We're talking about equals as people, right? And I think that, you know, with a woman should be able to do whatever she wants, really. So if a woman wants to work and the man stay home, let's say this is the opposite gender role. Man stay home with the child and the woman's working.
Oh my goodness, that sounds like a nightmare.
Let's say.
That sounds like a nightmare.
And the man
don't you agree?
And stuff.
I think for most guys it would be a nightmare.
A nightmare, right? Because it's not like because it's not like innate to the person, right? So like innate for a woman versus a man, right?
For most guys. For most guys.
Yes.
Sure,
There's exceptions to every rule.
There's exceptions. I'm just playing devil's advocate, but I think, you know, I'm okay with it. Listen, if a man said, you know, honey, you know, you have your degree, you have a good job, but listen, you stay home, watch the kids. I'll make the money. You know, you take care of the house, and I'll be like, you know, if we have that agreement, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. But I'm also okay with working and you know, working as well.
So you're kind of like,
so I'm
you know,
in the middle. Like, it could go either way, honestly.
Yeah, easy come, easy go, whatever. You know,
it could go either way.
Yeah, go with the flow.
But if he's like, you have to stay home.
You're gonna be like, wait, who are you talking to that way?
3 meals a day on the table when I get home every night. Then that is like, yeah, that's a lot. I mean, that's just excessively controlling. But yeah,
right. So you're kind of like, you know, easygoing. Okay.
Yeah, I'm easygoing.
What about you?
To some extent, I can see myself in the middle common ground. I actually will have to ask him to dissect what do you mean by gender roles or gender roles.
Gender roles.
Let me come up here. I am independent at least for the last 11 years. So you're going to come in and ask me about something that I pretty much can do comfortably right now. I live on my own. I make my own money. I do my own investment. I pretty much do everything in my life default, just me and myself, nobody else. I'm not waking up, there's a plus one in my life.
Right.
Now, when you come in here with this mindset, can we elaborate?
Sure.
What do you mean by generals? If you want me to cook, no problem. What are you gonna do for me, or what are you gonna do better that I'm already doing for myself right now? Because I already do it all.
Okay. Tough cookie. So when you say that, he goes, okay. Basically, you believe that, you know, the man's the man of the household and the woman's the woman of the household. And you're going to ask, okay, what do you mean, honey? And then he's going to tell you, I want you to cook and clean and take care of the kids and also do your free activities during your free time, you know, but...
Isn't that what a lot of people want nowadays?
But also he's providing enough, you know, to be comfortable. He's not like filthy rich, but at the same time, he's pretty comfortable. He's making a good $200K per year.
$200K. I could settle for that.
Okay.
But there's other things you will have to bring to the table. Money's not everything.
Okay,
so
elaborate.
I can do this myself.
She's a tough one, guys.
I'm coming in with a little bit of a different approach. What are you gonna do different that I already can do for myself? And I'm not choosing single life. It's maintainable.
Right.
It's not lonely. I don't feel alone. What are you gonna do to convince me to give this all up?
Okay.
And you're gonna have to convince someone who works in labor and delivery. So I am there, right in the middle of all the mist of a life or death. So I've seen it all, like
Right.
what women have to go through.
Right.
You're gonna have to try to convince me.
Okay, okay. So what's the bare minimum you're willing to accept?
Bare minimum.
Everything, money, responsibilities, this, that.
I do agree. One person told me in the past, partnership is everything. I'm here looking for teamwork. I don't mind doing things that has always been considered as a women's role. But you're giving me safety. You're giving me a roof. You're giving me security. You're giving me love.
Right. So basically, the essentials, basically.
There's like basic essentials. For me to do all this, I need to be comfortable. I need to feel comfortable. I need to feel safe that, I can provide 3 meals a day, probably pop 4 or 5 kids.
Wow,
Bring
wow.
them into this world.
Amazing. Amazing.
I need to feel safe to be able to do
Hopefully your kids could watch this, in the future. What is your opinion, Mustafa?
I'm somebody who really values my autonomy, which is why I would never demand somebody to conform to some gender roles, because autonomy is first. And I would not want to come into a relationship and be like, all right, you must do X, Y, and Z because this is how we do it in this household.
Okay.
I like splitting everything so that, I have my territory, you have your territory. That's just how I live life. Just my preference,
Okay.
I like that.
Now, Tut, I want you guys to tell me your horror stories when it came to a guy showing, these signs. Maybe he didn't even talk about it, but he showed those kinds of signs. You guys have to have some stories. Come on. At least one story per person.
I don't know. Give me some hints. Maybe I'll remember something.
He's showing signs that, domineering type, like, you're not going to work a day in your life type of thing, even, no matter what you want to or not, like something like that.
It's very hard. I don't think I ever gave anybody more than 5 minutes if I was able to pick up that they're coming in with that control mindset.
Oh, yeah.
But there's got to be a guy who maybe at first was good, but then afterwards he messaged you or he called you in ways that you were just like, I don't know if we could continue this.
Not necessarily. It was already off. Like, done. Bye. Game over.
Well, okay, what happened though? There's got to be something that happened.
I can't really think of the back of my mind at the moment.
No Andrew Tate stuff?
No, I don't allow it for too long. No.
Not at all.
Let's start with at least like paying the bill on the first date.
Okay.
I don't think this is controlling. I don't think this is I am showing off my machoism. I think it's appropriate, for a guy to pay on the first date, but I've always offered for me to pay for dessert if dessert is going to follow a dinner.
Okay. So basically both very much easygoing.
Yeah.
Not the type who are just like, no, I gotta work, and at the same time, there's no way I won't work.
No. I would love to work at least part-time if I have to give up my full-time at the moment to focus on family and maintaining the marriage life. I want to have something to be sustainable where it's mine, so I would trade it off for a part-time or a per diem type of work where I can do this maybe like twice a month just to keep me busy, keep me involved with what I've worked so hard for, and not just give it up after X amount of time for just one individual.
Oh my goodness. Guys, I have a really interesting question for everyone, including myself, in this table. What are some traits that make either of you guys difficult to date? Or difficult to deal with occasionally?
Let's ask that question again. What are your toxic traits?
No one ever told me that I was toxic.
But you know your toxic traits.
I
No
know
one
what
will
can
say
be
that you're
gentle.
toxic, but some people might give hints about a certain trait that you have that deep down that it is toxic.
I was told first impression of
Or
me
undesirable.
was I come up very intimidating.
Oh shit.
How so?
I don't know. It's just a common denominator I received from many different
She
people.
gives the dog teeth, the cat hissing.
Very intimidating. Very intimidating.
She does that on the first
Very
date. They're like,
strong.
oh shit, I'm leaving.
Yeah, I try to tone down a little bit, trying to get myself to be, not less intimidating, more approachable. I think it comes down to personality-wise. You have to really have more than one conversation for me to realize that I am the biggest clown, but I don't show it off the first time. You need to earn it.
So, okay, So basically, being intimidating and not showing enough, like of your goofy side. There's gotta be something that's more toxic. Come on, there's gotta be something. Come on.
Here's a better idea.
I'll talk about mine.
I spoke with you maybe like briefly for the last 5 minutes before we started. What was your impression of me? And no hard feelings, whatever that is.
Like in terms of the toxic thing?
No, just first impression overall.
Really strong.
I think that's
Careful, guys. Careful.
I think that's it.
How about you?
Me?
Yeah.
Can we skip the question?
Anything. Give us.
I'll give you something. I would say, yeah, I can come off like intimidating in a way, like what she was saying, like aggressive kind of, like sometimes, like strong. Also can be a little argumentative sometimes, you know. Sometimes I talk maybe too much. You
Okay.
know, or maybe I'm too
Chatterbox?
honest. Sometimes too honest. Yeah, chatterbox.
Yeah, to me that's not toxic. Some people see it.
Oh, that's good. What's this toxic trait? Let's give some other examples.
Not toxic.
Like toxic like narcissism, like people who are like really.
No.
like-
Just
like,
for me, it wasn't toxic. What I'm trying to ask is
Toxic
traits that make you hard to deal with. I could talk about myself. What's hard to deal with
go
me?
ahead.
I am not a patient person.
Not
I'm not a patient person.
Okay.
I'm not gonna like rush you to do
you go.
something, but when I need something, like when I'm hungry, I lose all my patience.
hangry.
Yes,
hangry.
I get I get
do.
hangry.
Okay.
I get hangry, but the difference is this: I'll stay to myself when I'm hangry. I'll try not like I wouldn't be around others, and I'll probably eat by myself. If I have to wait 1 or 2 hours, I swear to God, I've done this before. My friends thought I was weird, but I was just like, I'll meet you guys there. Why do I have to sit there and wait for 2 hours, being hungry as hell, and then go to a restaurant and wait there? It's like, how many hours in a day do we have? Just get it out the way so I could just go back to my normal.
So I was talking to this girl the other day I met. So we're in the event, and we had a conversation because we got to know each other a little bit more. And then I went to another singles event, and I told her that I went to a singles event, and she was like, "I'm gonna guess that you're at this event and that nothing really has impressed your eye that much." And the toxic trait that I have is that not very easy to impress. Oh, sorry, not hard.
Hold on. That's not toxic. That's giving it 100.
Sorry, hard to impress.
Bro, if anything, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But like this is something my mom has also noticed is that when it comes to not just dating, but like in life in general,
Perfectionist.
meaning like you're not easily impressed, and when you're not impressed, you just don't look happy, and your brain is just elsewhere.
At the singles event, this guy was like, I want to get the hell out of here. I want to make some friendships. I'd rather just, come for a reason.
But it's not just like in dating. It's actually like if you ask the people who know me, it's in everywhere. Like I guess I tend to be a little bit perfectionistic and like hard to impress, and like brain is elsewhere, fantasizing about something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was just gonna say, I was on a date before in the past, and I was like 5 minutes late, and the guy was like made a big deal about it, and I was just like, swear to God.
Are you sure it was 5 minutes?
Wallah, I
Or
swear.
5?
Wow.
Wallah, 5 minutes. Wow.
So he got mad for 5
Wallah.
minutes?
This Greek guy. Well,
Prime
this
hour.
Greek guy. Anyway, the point is 5 minutes, 5-6 minutes, literally, and I was like a few minutes late. And I was like, I was only a few minutes late. Like, like most guys would just not care and they would just wait and just have a drink or whatever, hang out. He made a big deal. He mentioned it. He made a big deal.
He was one of those type A people?
Yeah, but I think so. I'm a girl, right? And I'm literally waiting. I'm not gonna say if I'm a girl and I'm waiting for a guy. Like, I'll wait like 10-15 minutes. Like, I don't care. I'll wait. I'll sit there.
Yeah, me too.
And I feel like as a woman, like most girls won't wait.
Up to like 45 minutes, they'd
Yeah.
wait, most women. But actually, question guys, do you think you could tell a lot about a person from just like them being late or them making a big deal of someone being late just from that one action? Would you guys be judging deep down? Be honest.
I think so. It's how you're going to, carry yourself, choice of words, and how you're going to explain yourself. I feel like people who spend more than 5 minutes giving you a description about why they're late and then giving you a story, it's a cover up.
Yeah.
And you try so hard to convince the person. Next thing you know, I'm like, dude, I was okay just from the first 30 seconds. I don't know why you went on for 5 minutes explaining.
Going over their life story. I had to do this. I broke 5 of my fingers. This happened, that happened.
Like,
It's just like,
you know, we all humans,
Yeah.
we make mistakes. I think you also can tell
Yeah.
from the first half an hour after the date started how
Yeah.
they carry themselves,
Yeah.
and they sweat over little things. Like the food didn't come on time, or the temperature of the steak.
Why is it not coming on
Or the
time?
steak wasn't medium rare.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
God damn it! I asked for this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've
Or-
seen some people like that.
Or something.
me personally, if someone's, shows one of those red flags, I'm not gonna, like, honestly, from the very beginning, I wouldn't just let them go. I typically give chances, but most of the times, they end up showing that behavior again. Not all times, but most times.
What toxic trait have you seen in the people that you dated?
Trying too hard to impress was one of them. Like they're trying to win your affection by everything, because you're losing the game, especially if like I'm not interested and I want to get out.
So I was on a date one time, right, and this guy. So we're sitting at the table, and he's just like talking a mile a minute. He must have been like, I don't know if it was on something like cocaine or something. I have no idea. We went to dinner. He was eating, and he was just like, da 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 da, like, oh my god, like I want you to, you're so pretty. Oh my god, can I hold your hand? Can I hold your
my
hand?
God.
And like he was like touching my hands, and I was
so
like,
he's still asking like
no,
that?
he was touching.
He didn't even say yes or no.
My
He just went
hands.
for it.
He was just went for it. And he was like, "Can I hold your hands?" Like, I have to. You're so. Oh my god, you're so pretty. Oh my god, I want to. Wait, I want to introduce you to my mom. He's like, He's like, oh my god, we can.
Right on the first date?
Swear to God, we can. Swear to God, we can. We can take a trip to Florida.
We're gonna get married now.
We're gonna take a trip to Florida. We can
Oh
go to
my
Miami. He's like,
Lord.
Let's love bombing.
like love bombing. Yeah, like he was.
That sounds like love
hardcore.
dumping. It's like he just dumped all these
turned me
expectations on you.
He turned me completely off. And then another time, like I left that date, like trying to like literally we ate dinner and stuff, and then I kind of like okay, I gotta go. I'm a little tired. Nice to meet you. And then I literally saw him one time at the gym. After that, we never went on a second date because he was a little crazy. So I saw him at the gym one time, and I was like dodging him at the gym, like trying to like dodge his ass. It was so funny. Very soon after that, I left that gym. Because that gym, I'm telling you, if you know export, I loved export though.
Abort mission.
If you know
mission.
that gym is very popular, and there's a lot of young people that used to go to that gym in my area. So I was just like seeing a lot of faces all the time. Sometimes you don't want to run into people all the time.
Yeah.
You kind of just want to do your thing and leave. So I kind of ended up getting rid of that gym after that.
It just made me think because a lot of people go to the gym to meet people.
Yeah.
And then
I'm a millennial too.
I used to hear it as like, if you want to meet people, like you go to the gym, for example, because you might end up meeting someone.
Honestly, us guys all know this. Those girls in the gym who are wearing extra tight leggings and they're squatting, yet they're the same girls who bitch about guys looking at them. It just like,
come
how
on.
do you like? How do you not
every-
want us to look?
Exactly. Like, come on. What do you think about that?
I don't know. I mean, I'll be honest. I have not been to the gym for a very long time. But the last thing on my mind is meeting a guy at the gym. I'm going for the gym just because I want to, de-stress, decompress. My life is hectic. My work schedule is hectic. I don't need to go meet men like that, especially in sweats. Like I'm sweating.
Oh
right
my
now.
goodness! It's like
I'm sweating. I smell.
Show them how healthy you are.
No, that is so not attractive.
No.
at all.
What about the girls who wear the leggings?
I think
and
there's-
squatting and
I think
then-
it's just for Instagram, in my personal opinion. I
Yeah,
think
a
it's
lot
for
of them.
Instagram,
I'm
it's
not
for
saying all of them, but a
TikTok.
lot of them. Here's my opinion, just to clarify: the people who do that and then complain about the guy looking at them.
Wait, hold on. Okay. Are we talking about guys looking at them who are like staring or just like looking?
No, getting like weird.
The
creepy
girl,
looks.
the girl who's complaining, who's always complaining,
Yeah.
always complaining about guys
And
looking
you're
at
the
her.
ones who started.
Yeah, you're the one who started it.
Yeah,
I mean,
anyways,
anyone can look. I mean, everybody has eyes, right? So, I mean, it depends.
no one tells you
if
where to
someone's
look.
stalking,
Yeah.
if someone's stalking you, that's a different story. But if someone's just looking,
And I I think
Yeah.
they like it.
They do. They like it, but then they'll complain about it. Like it's hypocritical.
Which girls
I mean-
like have you seen like from your experience that actually complain about this stuff?
Honestly, there's not a lot. There's not a lot of people who do this that that I'm personally involved with. But there's friends of mine on Instagram who we've never met before. Who, oh yeah, guys always doing this. Guys always doing this. Blah blah blah. Some of them in person. And then I'm like, if you're saying always,
It's attention. It's attention.
Yeah.
They're just getting attention. It's
Or that's
Instagram.
just
If it's
their way of-
on Instagram and they're doing this on Instagram and they complain about, oh my god, men pay attention to me on Instagram. It's for attention.
Yeah.
They're creating content.
Also trying to say
creating content like us, right?
I think so too. I believe so too.
I should be clear though. There are some times where it's a serious issue, particularly if a woman is walking in a working class area and maybe she is going through a bad neighborhood and she's getting looks and she feels unsafe. That's a serious issue.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But if it's
That's completely different.
It's
Yeah.
a different
Yeah.
outlook and a different.
Yeah, but if it's just some gym girl's oh my god, man, looking at me, and she's posting it on Instagram,
It's like what's the
it's
point?
we all know what that is. We all know what that is. You should-
Mustafa''s character came out right now. He was just like, all right, I'm gonna turn into someone else. Get the hell out of here.
No, it's good for views. It's good for views because I'm sure there's probably some girls who go to the gym who probably felt uncomfortable because some creep is bothering them.
Or
So,
weird.
so they're probably gonna they're gonna relate to that content. They're gonna find it relatable.
But
they're gonna find it relatable.
they're not the girls who are gonna make sure they post it on Instagram many times. This is always happening to me.
It's like, look at my butt. 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 Actually, I have a question for you guys now, relating to this. Your opinion on confidence in anyone, in a man or a woman. What are some things you could tell whether or not the person is confident when it comes to these things, like loud confidence versus quiet confidence? Let's talk about
I'm
that.
gonna tell you this: men who are content and confident of who they are will not brag about the stuff they have to show off.
Right.
That usually is
Yeah,
done
you're right.
low key, and they come out probably after they trust the person enough and they got to know them that we have a common ground. This is what we agree on.
Uh-huh.
Okay, we have these differences, and how they just got. They spent time and they invested time getting to know you, and they're comfortable sharing. Okay, this is how much money I make. All right, this is how much assets I have. And they're not gonna mention that stuff from the first time.
Yeah.
If you do this from the
then unlike when you become seriously.
Yeah, but
I
for
agree.
those who show off, I got this watch, I got this Jordan,
okay.
I got this and this and that, and I'm like,
different.
do you have anything else to share that is not materialistic? And next thing, and that's how you're gonna lose me.
Yeah, it's basically
That's
okay.
it.
Let me talk about all my accomplishments and how cool I am and how I'm the smartest person
I
ever.
settled with your resume. That could have, just been
Yeah,
a
you
done
could have
deal
just sent it
without
over.
me meeting you.
Yeah, you go on a date. You go on a first date. You're putting your best foot forward.
Yeah.
There's a difference between putting your best foot forward and saying, "Hey guys, look at me. Hey guys, look at me. I have a Mercedes. It's right there. That's my Mercedes. That's my Mercedes. Oh, I make this much. I'm the CEO of this. I'm the manager of this. And last year they gave me a raise. This year, it's like, what the hell do you need to, talk about all this shit for? But if you're content within yourself, you're confident within yourself, you're just gonna show up as the best you. You're still you. But why do people dress up in weddings, job interviews?
Even if your first date saw the type of car you saw, but you didn't say it out loud, you just said, "This is my car."
That's completely different. You're not flaunting at this point.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my car's right there. Yeah, something
That's
like that. Instead of
You didn't need to tell me what was the model. You didn't tell me how much money you spent, or
Yeah.
who gave it to you. If somebody
I
gets
know.
cars these days.
They tell you that.
guys, you know what I've seen, like a big a pattern. So many people are not transparent about a lot of things, guys and girls. But obviously, it's more believable when the girl complains about it because they're looked at as more like, okay, oh yeah, she's a girl, she's clearly the victim. When lots of times women are not transparent. She could ghost you. She could ghost you. She could ghost you for reasons that she just chose not to talk about. And this same girl before was the type who said, "You can give a man everything, but he'll still find a reason to leave you or to cheat." I'm like, not all men are like that. And then here you are, we're supposed to have matched to some extent, and then you just ghost the guy. It's like, it's interesting how that works. So basically, when it's to your disadvantage, you bitch about it. But when you do it to a guy, it's just like, oh, I'm just a girl. It's
get
fine.
what you're saying. I disagree with that. I mean, are you talking about ghosting on an app or when you're already texting, talking on the phone?
Either.
In person?
You got to be transparent.
Yeah, on the apps.
Yeah,
You mean?
anything. I
Yeah.
mean, like, just tell the person, like, it's not personal.
Tell them. Yeah, tell them.
Hey,
try
I
as
appreciate our
best I
talk,
can.
but for
Listen,
whatever reason, we didn't click. I respect. That's happened to me a lot. You know,
I try as best
actually not
I
a lot.
can
Unfortunately,
not to
not a lot.
lose.
That's happened to me a couple times, but I respected the girl for doing that.
Yeah, good.
Nothing against her.
Yeah,
She didn't do anything wrong.
I appreciate that too.
I have a question for both of you. How can you distinguish between honest, genuine confidence versus fake confidence? Like, how can you tell if a
Whereas
guy
what? As opposed to what?
honest confidence versus fake confidence? Like, some men can fake confidence, but like on the inside they're really insecure, but they don't show it.
Yeah.
They play like, okay, yeah, I'm very confident, I'm
see.
very calm, you know. But like, how do you know that he's actually kind of faking it till he make it?
That's the difference between being kind and nice. I'd rather have you being kind and tell me your true feelings if you're really not feeling this, match, and we need to part ways, versus you're trying to be nice about it.
What about like general confidence? Like let's say somebody pretends that they have a good a sense of self-esteem, but like on the inside, like they are like beating themselves up 24/7 for being,
It really comes
not
out.
good enough.
It really comes out, and there's many individuals who can actually read the body language, read the energy, read what conversations you bring up to the social gathering, and that will tell slightly a little bit about if this is coming genuinely, if this person is really like being themselves, or this person is just trying to impress everybody in the room.
Or maybe they're hiding their.
And they're trying too hard to hide and compensate for what they're not, confident about or not proud about, or they think it's a disadvantage. Remember, someone's green flag is someone else's red flag.
You see, I like that question because, we see this all the time. There's people, sometimes you're in even not with dating necessarily, like you're in a gathering, let's say a couple of people, like just us four. And there's this one person always who wants to make everything about themselves. It's like you told me, for example, I went to
My goodness.
Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
Instead of listening to you, I went there two years ago and
Then
blah blah
just
blah.
keep-
They gave me a promotion and then blah blah blah. I fell in love with this person. They really love me. Blah blah blah. It's like whoa.
Always
There's
have
tons
to
of people like that in general.
Yeah, tons, and it's almost like they're very insecure, so they definitely have to
Overcompensate.
Treat people how you want to be treated. That's it, and that's just that's it.
Better than treating people how you like to be treated, treat people how they like to be treated. That's the platinum rule.
So what is,
Because like not everybody wants to be treated the same way.
okay, so treat people how.
They like to be treated.
Yeah, because some people,
but not at your
how
expense.
they like to be treated is they want everything to be about them. Everything has to be about them.
But
Huge red flag in my opinion. Huge. It's just like, did you listen to anything anyone else said? No,
no,
you didn't.
some people just tune people out. Like
Or the first date, when it's all about one individual talking about
Oh my
themselves,
goodness.
and they never gave the person, what about you? Have you done this? Or have you been to this? Or what do you think about this? But all I've been doing is
Yes.
talking about half an hour. What do I
talk
think
about
about X,
themselves.
Y, and Z?
And at that point, you're just listening. You're like, You just keep saying that, and then in the middle, in the back of your mind, you're like, shut up, shut up, shut up, please shut up, please shut up, please shut up. It's like, but sometimes you don't know what to do. Sometimes it's uncles.
Oh,
I'm sorry, not necessarily my
We're
uncle.
talking about first dates here, not
I mean,
uncles.
people in general, but yeah, no, but here's how it is.
Respectfully.
Some of those like uncles in certain cultures, right? We're not gonna say which ones. In certain cultures, their kids turn out to be the exact same. That's the thing.
Well, if
So
they've never been exposed or familiarized with anything outside of what they know, they're gonna end up becoming a clone of what they were always referenced.
sometimes not even a clone, more like
environment plays a big role.
like my mom has a saying for this in Arabic, like they erased their personality.
Oh, okay.
So basically the kid like grows up like he has no personality of his own,
except for his
he's just
family's.
he's not very
Socially
outspoken, socially awkward, does not speak up, very agreeable, kind of insecure and
Because of the
neurotic,
family?
and and it's
family.
like just like he's like a defeated soul. He's
Most
never
of the
he's never
time,
allowed
they
to
are
you know.
people who are socially awkward in that aspect, as you were describing it at the moment. They usually don't know anything else, and they have not been given an opportunity or find themselves in a different time and place where they would have like one of these light light bulb come up.
Yeah, it's
light bulb, and it's like, what's going on? This is a different
it's like,
thing.
it's like this is your box. This is what you know,
Yep.
and that's it. And this is just life.
Hate that.
I think we can agree to some extent we've all found ourselves in this circumstances, but it was upon us to make the choice if we want to continue like
Yeah.
this, or you're inspired to be curious.
I agree, but here's, what I'll add to that. For me, for example, when I meet someone, something I look for is you have opinions of your own.
Yeah.
Of your own. Just because mommy and daddy were a certain way, just because your brothers were or sisters or your cousins were a certain way, I respect and I'm attracted to women and people as friends, of course, who have viewpoints of their own. It's not just because some people could see this as, oh, you're just different for the sake of being different. No, I appreciate the fact that you have your own mindset about something. Maybe you agree with what your culture does in some things, but not in everything.
100%.
For me, it's why don't you create your own culture? And you live by that, you know what I mean? Just because everybody back home does something a certain way, what if that shit's dysfunctional for the past 6 years? And then there's people who, they were born and raised here, but their parents were from back home, just like myself. And then the people in general, I'm not going to say like what specific cultures, they imitate what their parents do about certain things. I'm like, do you realize that this is not functional for you? This is like, it's not working out. So why? Just because you're more, close to what's familiar, you want to do more with what's familiar instead of what's right for you. Because people themselves, not just countries, people could have different cultures. I have my own culture, you have your own culture, you. Even when it comes to dating. But then when you're on a date and you see someone they don't really have opinions of their own, it was always, this person said so-and-so, this person said so-and-so.
What is your opinion?
So that's the right way. So that's
I know a friend who said this. I have a friend who has, they thought about this. Or I have a friend who, did this, did that, and then that was their opinion.
Yeah, it's like what do you think?
What is your own
Yeah.
opinion?
I like that. No, honestly, I've been in that situation where I've been caught myself on dates where I'm speaking about my family life or my life, and I'm like, oh, my brother says this, or my dad, or my mom or dad said this or does this, and like I do because I do this, or I think this because my brother thinks this, and this makes it right. Like, you know what I'm saying? What is my view? What is my viewpoint? That just because you've been around those people your whole life.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't get to realize this until I moved out.
Oh.
Moving out where I come from, back then was not the norm. I changed
I'm sure you did.
tremendously after I moved out. I got to, so Arabs think that, old generation teaches the younger generations, like how to cook, how to clean.
How to do everything from A to Z.
I'm going to tell you this. I didn't do shit until I started living on my own. It's like, damn, now I know why my mom has been pushing me to really learn how to cook, because they all think because it's when you get married, you need to cook for your family. But like, okay, now it's me and myself and my nice devil and my worst, my worst angel.
It's like, how are we going to cook this?
And I'm like, okay, I need to fend for myself. I need to cater to myself. Otherwise, I'm going to have to rely on someone else doing it for me at the expense of my money. Like, paying for every service because I can't do it by myself. And COVID happened and then put me into reality.
There you go.
Now it's physical. Social distancing is taking place. What are you going to do about it? And then I started to have a relationship with the University of YouTube, and I got to learn so many things.
That's actually a good one. Hey, I go to the University of YouTube. Hey, we're recording content for the University of YouTube.
All about cooking. Maybe not, but I'm now proud to say that I actually can cook a lot of my, my home oriental food. Except what I'm still struggling with the
grape leaves stuffed with rice.
Where the malfouf. How to do it? Like
How to roll it?
How to roll it? I don't know how to do it until now. But morale is the bottom line. I got to sit down and have a relationship with myself, get to learn what are my limits, and I would say I got to actually like myself. I like me.
There you go.
I really do like me.
Awesome.
And That's one of the things that can be challenging for men who don't understand. My new self is I got to learn about myself. But if you're coming in and you never lived on your own, or you never got to have a relationship with yourself, do you like yourself? Because I do. Let's talk about this. And next thing you know, blank.
It's like, wait, who am I? I want one of you guys to ask like a deeper question.
Okay.
Go ahead, tell
Now,
us.
question for gentlemen. So let's say a woman really checks off the box in a lot of things that is on your personal preference, but the age. Let's say she is slightly older than you, or someone, I'm not going to say younger than you. We all know men love younger women, regardless of how the age gap is. But let's say it's a woman that you really find you reciprocate with, you really can have conversation with. She's attractive. She meets everything on the box, but the age was
1 second.
out of the box.
The age thing has to do with one thing and one thing only: physical attractiveness. If she is as hot as a 22-year-old, I don't give up.
That's it.
Okay, that's a good one. I mean, it's a good response.
Yeah, I'm just being honest.
what about-
I know I'm being
about
shallow, but I don't want kids. I don't want that nightmare. So,
Okay.
Well, that was something we didn't know about.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't want to get too personal. I just
Yeah.
curious.
But
No, but
like,
just
but-
general, just general.
but if she looks as attractive as a younger girl, then that does it for me.
Honestly,
Be honest.
I've never been in a situation where I had to, like, it was really, really, really at that point. My limit is either 3 or 4 years. I don't know. You know, I've been in a situation where she was over 4 years older than me, so I was just like, I don't know. But yeah, maybe that's my closed-mindedness. But that's what I think my limit is. I could, who knows what the future holds. But it does play a factor because of several, other things. And that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with her because, you could talk to someone about this. They could be like, oh, yeah, you're age shaming. No, that's just my preference. That doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. And like I said, who knows the age that I end up with. Obviously, if you had to custom make your person,
Would we all be married by now? if
yeah, custom
making was
make,
a
you know what I
thing?
mean? But it's not like that. So I think there's a portion of it that you just can't control, and then you find yourself in a situation like, how the hell did I do that? Well, it happened the way it happened. So that's basically my answer. If it's
I
clear
can't
at
ask
all.
you that.
If I had two options, and the younger girl looked okay-ish, and the 33-year-old girl looked like a model,
Okay, I like where you're going with this one.
I'm going with the 33-year-old because I am that shallow. And I own it.
I appreciate your honesty.
Okay, yeah, because for me, it's just purely about physical attractiveness.
Like, I'm going to be honest, for me, I look for agreeableness in a woman. Agreeable in the sense that she's not going to make a big deal out of everything. Just, you could be both. You have your own opinion. You're still strong in your own way. Don't hit me with that strong, independent woman. I'm a boss babe. I don't need no man, because I don't believe in that. I don't need no man, like, for the rest of my life. To an extent, we need one another. Maybe not right now, but to an extent, we still need one another. So her being agreeable and, like, open to changes, not super this, control. I have to know every single thing. It's like, no. You feel safe. You're having a good time. That's it. Let's just vibe it out.
Yeah, I don't know about agreeableness because, like I said, I don't want to have kids. And the thing about agreeable people is that they tend to be it's not deceit, but like a lot of times they won't tell you what you need to hear because they don't want to hurt your feelings. And they tend to also be like very family oriented. And a lot of times from my personal experience with one person, they try to control you to be more like them. And
That's not
what's
been my case.
but I like people who are a little bit more like honest and direct and kind of like.
I think that's what everyone wants.
My opinion is you could be agreeable and you could still be honest. Maybe it's not that common for people to be that way. You could be direct and honest and also agreeable in the sense that you're kind of flexible if things don't go your way. And at the same time, you're like, oh shit, I wouldn't prefer this, but you know what? Let's have a nice time at this spot instead,
Are you flexible?
I'm not super flexible now.
You're not.
At least
But
you're
you want
transparent.
someone
I'm not
who's
super flexible. I'll consider your point of view, but I'm not super flexible.
But you want someone who's agreeable and
Yeah.
flexible, but you're
yeah.
not flexible or
Yeah,
agreeable.
well, we're going to complement one another. You know what I mean? And also, listen to this. Also, I'm not. listen. I'm not a my way or the highway kind of guy.
Okay.
And I despise people who are like
That's
that.
good.
But at the
There's
same
a-
time, you know, I could be in some aspects like that, but for the most part, I'm not super flexible. Open-minded, yes. Flexible, no. A guy who, let's say, he's average on the looks, average in the career, and average in the personality. And the problem with that man is a lot of times he doesn't want to change himself because he could become better. People want better; they don't want to become better. I think that's a very selfish way to see things, and you have a victim mentality. Instead of saying, oh my god, I'm ugly, girls only look at this.
Yeah.
No, fucking change yourself. If you're out of shape, take your ass to the gym. If your style sucks, fix your style. If your photo stuck, go to a photographer.
If you want to be your own boss, you hang out with people who became their own boss, and it
Exactly.
didn't happen overnight.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. Most people are victims. They don't want to change their lives. They want to change the outcome without becoming the person who naturally achieves those results.
And I didn't learn that until I moved out.
At least you learned it. Some people
I didn't learn
at
that
65, they're still
until
victims.
Yeah.
What? Okay. Now, let's say somebody wants to change. There is, and I'm not dunking on this, but there is kind of like a progressive philosophy of like self-love,
Sure.
where like, so let's say this guy, he's a 7, but he can work on himself to become a 9, so he can date a 10. All right. But there's actually a philosophy now that's like, why should you even do it? Why should you? Why not just embrace yourself and love yourself and just why even think about these things? And I found that this is actually very self-destructive because if you desire certain things that are out of your league, and you never work on yourself, you're always going to be in this place of feeling less because you desire what you desire. There's no reason to desire it. It's just that you desire it. And so you're just in this cycle of destructive self-love, I think.
Okay.
Where like you basically say, no, actually, I'm good just the way that I am. I am good just
You know,
the way.
this is actually one of my turn-off phrases when people say, "This is who I am. Accept it or don't accept it."
Take
I'm
it or
like,
leave it, yeah,
No,
it's like-
I'm like, no, you actually are not receptive to constructive criticism at all because you can't even take a moment to think about it and then tell me, "Okay, I can see your point," or "You know what? I thought about it, but I don't agree with you." So I got at least my feedback from you. But when you come by default and say, "This is who I am. This is how I was
Yeah,
raised."
people don't like to work on themselves, and you know, they embrace the victim mentality. And then when you say low destructive self-love, you're basically, I think you're lying to yourself at that point. It's like, oh, things are good now. Things could be decent now. You're surviving now because good is relative. What if you know you want more, and you know deep down you don't want to settle for this, but you're settling for it just because you think your time is over?
convenient.
It's convenient. It's not
convenient.
desirable, and only you know this. Only I know this about myself. Only you know about this about yourself. You, same thing.
So I mentioned this earlier about age, but I'm gonna mention this as a general. So you were in a setting, and you were able to have conversation with a woman, but let's say her first impression did not impress you from the first time.
Okay.
Would you give her a chance?
Depends how physically attractive I find
So
her.
physical attraction is your
Yes.
number one default factor. What is? Would you agree with him?
Honestly, yeah.
Well, I feel like
he was just
what
like,
is-
he was like, oh, should I? He was like, I don't want to be a dick, but I want to be me. so it's,
I want to be real.
but that's no, he's real.
But what about? So I'm playing just the opposite. What about like intellectual? What about like being intellectual, or like how someone's intellectual?
Absolutely.
What's the word I'm looking for?
Like you're an intellectual,
You're-
basically.
Yeah, like their intellect.
Yeah.
Like
They're intellectually stimulated.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like that's important for a lot of people. Sometimes if some people
Sure.
need that.
Absolutely.
Intellectual stimulation.
I'm one of those people.
Yeah, but you always go by attraction. You too. It's just
Okay.
and a lot of men they go by
I like this question.
attraction instead of personality, intellect.
Okay. There's a bare minimum for attraction. If a woman is a 10 out of 10, which I don't believe anybody is a 10 out of 10. No human on the planet is a 10 out of 10. That would imply that you're perfect. That would mean you're perfect. Anyways,
No one's perfect.
that's my preference. Let's just say there was a woman who was customly crafted in a lab. She's a 10 out of 10 in everything, but I, unfortunately, am not attracted to her. It's not going to work because I'm not attracted to you. I could admire you a lot, but
yeah.
I'm not physically attracted enough.
and vice
so
versa. I mean,
there's a
listen.
bare minimum.
I get it. Yeah, I do.
There's a bare minimum.
It's like I've had literal like guys walk up to me that I would never talk to like ever and like ask me like they've had and I give them credit because they have guts to walk up to me and speak to me and talk that I would never talk to, but it's like but they've had the guts to do that, and that's
Look, that's very respectable.
that is. I mean, I just feel like
Yeah, no.
like nerdy guys have come up to me in the past, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
and then so speaking, and I feel so bad. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Look,
Like just
That's what nice people do. By the way.
yeah.
yeah, you can be kind. You can still admire them from a distance, but
I like to give people chances. I don't go by default by physical looks,
But-
and I can actually see myself overlooking the physical attraction if they don't have.
sure.
My opinion does not apply to all women. That's just me.
Yeah. Look, but my opinion applies to most men, to be honest. Most men, if not all men, you have to have at least a bare minimum of what you're attracted to. Otherwise, you're just settling, and you know that. You're fooling yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
You're not attracted to this woman, but like, oh, she's the only one who's gonna accept me. Why don't you work on yourself
That's-
to attract better? You gotta be humble a little bit and say, no, I need some help. I need to improve myself, and let me do this. Respect myself. Respect myself. Like respect yourself.
Self-love is very important, and we work. I mean, yeah, I've worked on that for the last probably like 8 to 10 years. Like with all the, and there's so much help out there when it comes to like YouTube and like therapy and
Tons.
things, and just tons. And the content that people create is just it's good. It's helpful. Back in the day, they didn't have any of that.
Yeah, like, oh, I don't need help.
I don't need help. I'm fine.
Throw that under
my
the rug.
family does it this way. I do it this way.
Yeah.
I think this way. I'm
Close-minded,
I'm
yeah.
right. And I have family members who actually think like that. Like, oh, this is the way.
The way.
My way or the highway. Like that's it. And they don't think like outside. Yeah. Yeah. My way. Yeah. But
Long story short, guys, love yourselves, work on yourselves.
self-respect. Yeah.
Have some self-respect.
Self-respect, self-love.
Don't delude yourself.
Get to spend time to know yourself.
Get to spend time to know yourself. And last but not least, subscribe and comment, like, share, all those things. Peace.